We put an offer on a house.
I know this is what I want, but then I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're freaking out.
It's expensive. It's scary. It's overwhelming.
When our social media blew up originally, I got this amazing high off of it. But at the same time, that was just a temporary high. And there's things that are so much more important. That's your family. That's your spouse. That's your friends.
I'm a girl's girl. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest, though. You value women over men.
I, as a woman, trust other women way more deeply than I trust a random man.
If you want to compete on a show like The Voice, just having a good voice isn't good enough. It sucks not making it on, but at the same time, even if I would have made it on, would it have done much for me as an artist?
This episode of the Unplanned podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues, your ally to help tackle allergy symptoms this season. For this allergy season, grab Kleenex and face allergies head on.
I just want to take a second to admire how incredible of a speaker Abby is, because she had this whole event last week, okay? This whole event for her. She has this partnership with this brand called Soap and Glory. Abby wrote a whole entire speech day of, wrote the whole entire speech, delivered it, did an amazing job. I don't know how you do that. Like, if I have to give a speech or something, I would be nervous. You told this whole story of like meeting me in a show that we did when we were kids, and how it was during that time that you first tried out that brand's product, and how you fell in love with the product while you were falling in love with me, and then you ended up marrying me. And it was just like, man, you just told the most amazing story. And the fact that you can write that well and speak that well, I'm blown away.
You're way overhyping me. First of all, I took it seriously. I don't want anyone to think that just because I wrote it the morning of, it wasn't because I wasn't taking it seriously. It's because I had thought in my head first, like, they told me that I was going to speak on like that Monday or Tuesday, and then the event was on Saturday. So I've been thinking since then about like what I wanted to write and like how I wanted to phrase it and like what I was thinking. But I just put it on like into words that morning. Yeah. So it's pretty easy to write because I've been thinking about it so much. I literally just read it off the paper. Everyone's overhyping this. I read it. I mean, I kind of like looked down and like ad-libbed and like stuff like that, but I had paper in front of me.
You're really talented at that, though. I mean, you can even go off script and like talk, and then you're not even looking at your words. I'm like, how do you even do that? I'm out here trying to read every single word, and I'm just struggling to give the speech.
No.
And it's insane how talented you are at that.
Thank you. And then the other thing is that the room was filled with people that, like, my friends and family came to this. And then there were some new people that I met. And I obviously hadn't met the Soap and Glory team in person till that day. But everyone, it was just like a girl party. Everyone was so kind. No one was making me feel weird or anything. I was speaking from the heart. So it was easy because I was like, these words come so naturally to me because it's how I feel and it's all true. And my feelings about that whole event are so weird because it's like, I'm like, I did not deserve that. Like, oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. So many people, it's not easy to get away from your kids if you're a mom. I know that. And like, some people drove super far and it was their weekend. Like, they came out for me. Like, the Soap and Glory team came from New York for me. Like, everyone came for me. I was like, oh my gosh. And then second of all, I had a little separation because I have never had like a brand event like that. I don't necessarily identify the most with being like, how do you like influencer, you know? Obviously that is like our title, but I have never identified closely with that description. So it felt super weird, but then like beforehand, I was like, how is this going to be? But when I was there, it just felt like a girl party and a brunch, and it was so fun.
It was cracking me up. After the event was over, I look in our fridge and there are 10 big to-go boxes full of food. And I'm like, I wonder how this ended up here. And sure enough, I talked to my mother and she scavenged the heck out of that place once the event was over.
I agree with her.
My mom, any wedding we go to, that woman has flowers after that wedding. Like she got some flowers off of one of the tables. She does ask.
Like, you can't let that go to waste.
Yeah.
I love that about your mom. And I'm so glad that your mom got to come too, because they just so happened to be visiting when the event happened. So it was so fun that she got to come. My mom was there too. Both my sister-in-laws. It was just a family fun affair.
My parents like feasted on that for probably 2 days after the event was over. It was like, hey, do you guys want anything for dinner? It's like, oh no, we're good. We're full. We've been eating the Soap and Glory leftovers.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a really good time. We got to go up to Sedona with my parents. It was sad seeing my parents leave because they don't live here. They don't live out in Arizona with the rest of our family. Because we've kind of, like, our whole family's kind of moved over here.
We're going to see them next month, though.
Yeah, we will see them next month in Nashville, but I feel like they might move at some point just because they love their grandkids, and it's so fun to see them be with their grandkids and them going back home. Oh, that was just like really, really
I know.
sad.
Matt took them to the airport, but with Griffin in the car, and Griffin came home to me and he was waving still, and he was trying to tell me what you guys just did, and he goes, "Bye, Papa. Bye, Gamma."
Yeah.
And he was waving his little hand. He was telling me, he said bye. I said, "Did you say bye to them?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It was sad and sweet.
So sad.
Yeah, but it was we got a lot of good quality time with them. They were here for like 10 days.
Yeah.
So that was good. And Sedona was fun. We went hiking. Matt hiked. You were super dad. You hiked with both babies on you. I was like, I can hold Augie. And you're like, no. Did you kind of just want to feel?
I could tell you were getting tired. Like it was hard for you with him on your hip. Like it just,
I could have done it.
You looked uncomfortable. So
Really?
then it was just easier for me to put him on my shoulders, which
wasn't,
it's
like,
fun.
struggling.
He's 10 months now. So he's grown so much, and it's
And he
like
pooped on your head.
he pooped on my head. It was very smelly around my neck, but it was so fun holding my boys. They got to be very heavy after a while.
They both fell asleep on you.
I can't believe that we're about to have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. Griffin's turning 2 in a month. Augie's turning 1 in 2 months. Just crazy. And they both fell asleep. Yeah, you're right.
It was so sweet, them both being asleep on you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them so much. And that was a really fun little hike. But yeah, it's going to be a while before we can do like a hike that they can actually
Oh,
do.
yeah. Yeah. That was like a very small little hike. But
Yeah, that was fun though. And then life is so busy right now because this weekend we're going to LA.
we're doing a music video for my song I Like Right Now. And
I am so curious what this is going to be like.
it's going to be cool. I'm really excited. We're doing it in a very artistic way where the aspect ratio, rather than it being like widescreen, it's going to be kind of more like a cube, like a little square, like how old school films were made.
Oh, cute.
It's going to tell the story of I'm like, should I tell it? Should I give it all away?
It's up to you.
What do I want to say right now? Well, I guess we'll give you guys an insider scoop.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the
Since you're
pod.
listening to this. Basically, we hired an old man to play me.
Cute.
Right? Yeah. So we hired this actor
Is
to
he
play
tall
my,
like you?
I don't know. I think with whatever differences we have in height and all that stuff, they can fix it in post. Because we have like a legit
Wait,
director.
did you hire an older person to play me?
No. So that's the
Oh,
thing.
I die.
No, well, that's the thing. We don't want to have any like. It sounds so morbid for it to be like the old man is now widowed. Is it called widowed when
Yeah.
a man is no longer with their spouse or their spouse died? So yeah, we don't want to have it like have some sort of concurrent ending like that. So it's.
Or is it widower?
I have no idea. But basically, the whole premise is remaking the story that you see happen in the movie Up, where you see this guy, grow up and him, fall in love. And then I guess he never really does have a family, but then eventually he's all alone. And you kind of see him go through life like that. And watching that movie, was so, I bawled my eyes out watching that movie, especially after getting married and knowing like what love is. It just made me so emotional. So I think that story is so beautiful, and I want to tell that same story in the music video to just emphasize the whole point of the song I Like Right Now, because if you blink, your life is over like that. It goes by so fast. And I think it'll be cool for people to see the old man, which is me as an older man, looking back on his life, and you see him like watch his kids and his wife and like younger him, like playing in the kitchen, and they're eating breakfast, and it'll be really cool to visualize all of these ideas and put them in the form of a music video.
I'm so excited to see this all come together because I'm not creative in that way. So you telling me that, I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. But to see it like visually come to life will be really cool. So our little boys are going to be in it. I'm in it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll just figure it out from there.
I'm kind of nervous. This is the first music video ever that I've done. I mean, I've edited videos that are music videos in a way, but they were more like vlog style. It was real footage of our life set to songs that I've created and released. So this one is like the first like legit music video where we have a camera crew and a director and a cinematographer.
That sounds fun to me.
I know, it's legit, and there's a whole team. It's gonna be fun.
I love that.
I'm so excited.
You're getting to do this and like be creative like this and like kind of make your dreams come to life. It'll be really cool. I feel like now that we almost have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, we're getting into the stage where obviously they're still super needy, but we can explore other avenues as individuals still, while obviously prioritizing our kids and our family. And like that's exciting in a way for me because like they've been everything, and they still are my everything. But even getting to do this event, like, I was like, man, I feel so proud of the things I can accomplish even outside of motherhood.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll always be most proud of my role as a mom and a wife in our family. But it's also really important to have your own self identity outside of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's healthy for your kids too. And also to see you like go and chase your dreams and look up to you, but still always know that they play the most important role in your life. And I think you do a really good job of that. I think we both do. And yeah, I do feel really proud of I feel very proud of us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of us too. I'm proud of you because you just got a acting gig, or you got
I did not.
Okay, you didn't do the audition, but let's talk about that. You got an email that's like, hey, here's this role that you can read for. You didn't do it, though.
It really wasn't super serious, but it was exciting to think. That's kind of like what I was talking about, too. It's like exciting to think about the possibility of maybe trying out acting at some point.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's always been a passion since I was a little kid of mine. We went to college for it. They sent over an audition, but unfortunately there's a couple reasons why.
Well, there's a lot of cussing, right?
There's a lot of naughty words.
And you didn't like that?
Yeah, I still think that, I don't know. It's like such a hard conversation because it's like, obviously I'm going to be playing a character, someone that's not myself, but I don't think you can fully be like, oh, it's not me, so I'm going to do anything. It's still you playing a role. So for me, I'm like, I don't think that that's something, it wouldn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. It just wouldn't be right. So, yeah, I passed on that one, but also we're going to be on a cruise when that's filmed.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But they said they're going to send along more if the right thing comes along, so maybe I'll audition. Nothing will really come of it probably, but it'll be fun. Honestly, for me, it's just the fact of filming the audition and sending it. That's that kind of checks that box,
Yeah.
That's fun and exciting. LA will be cool. And then right when we get back, we have Cabo, which I feel like we've talked too much about, but we're just obviously so excited to have some one-on-one time when we don't really get that right now.
Yeah.
It feels wild to think about traveling just for fun with just us.
Any travel we do right now is usually...
It's 24 hours and it's just for work.
Exactly. We fly somewhere to New York to have a podcast guest on or something like that. And it's very quick. We're in and out. And this will be nice because we're literally just going to relax and enjoy it. I feel like we should go kayaking or scuba diving or something. We should do something fun.
Yeah, I know. Because I've also been pregnant. The last times we've been able to travel alone, obviously I was pregnant. And you
didn't feel good.
I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a whole new thing. I'm so excited. I got special nighttime outfits.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
Special bikinis.
Okay.
And it's just going to be so fun.
I'm
just
stoked.
It'll be really fun.
I'm very excited for this now. Okay.
This episode of the Unplanned podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues, your ally to help tackle allergy symptoms this season. It's allergy season.
It's a bit sniffly over here.
We're sniffling. We've got little snifflers. We got big snifflers like mad.
I sneeze a lot. I don't know what it is about me, but I just can't help myself from sneezing, and it's so loud too.
Yeah, and we have sensitive skin guys in our household, and that's why I'm really thankful to Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues because they are hypoallergenic and allergist approved and so gentle on little noses with their skin getting rubbed raw. It's really sad.
I always hate when you have to use a paper towel because there's nothing else, or a napkin if you're at a restaurant and then the only thing you can find is a napkin. It just feels so rough on your skin and on your nose. So having a soft Kleenex is the move for sure.
For running noses, watery eyes, everything, all the above, Kleenex is great. Our house is stocked with them, so we're really thankful to Kleenex. And for this allergy season, grab Kleenex and face allergies head on.
Back to the episode.
I'm going to be a bridesmaid for the very first time.
That is exciting.
That's also kind of sad.
Wait,
because
really?
the two other times I was supposed to be a bridesmaid, I was pregnant and I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was too pregnant to go.
That is sad.
So it's sad that this is my first time, but it's also exciting because it's my literal childhood best friend. And it's so cool because she was also my maid of honor in our wedding. And now I'm in her wedding and I've never been a bridesmaid. I'm really excited. It'll be fun. I love a good wedding. I love a good party. And I'm a bachelorette trip sounds so fun. A girls trip. It's going to be sad to leave the babies back to back like that.
I think you'd be the ideal person to go on a bachelorette trip with. If I was a girl, I'd want to go with you because I feel like you are such a fun person to be around, especially in a group atmosphere. You are just silly and funny and you're cracking jokes and you're doing weird stuff and it's hilarious.
You're
and
so nice.
I think just any group atmosphere, I feel like you just kind of make everyone laugh.
You're so nice. I don't really think I deserve all that. But it's going to be really fun. And yeah, I'm a girl's girl. You know what I mean? I hate men. No, I'm just kidding.
No, okay, let's be honest, though. You value women over men.
You do think that?
Maybe a little bit.
I, as a woman, trust other women way more deeply than I trust a random man. And if I was a man, it'd probably be the same for men. But for me, as a woman, I'm going to trust a woman more. But I also hope that I can always look at every situation without biases and just like evaluate for what it is. But in general, when a woman does something that I'm like, oh, that's not a good behavior, I'm like, we can expect that from men, but not from women.
What is weird, if we're talking about men and women, it's always the men who are doing these horrible crimes. Like anytime there's
that's what I'm saying.
A horrible natural disaster and then people are like pillaging people's homes and stealing, or if there's a massacre in some area and there's violence, I swear, like every time it's a man who did it. It's very rare that you're like, oh, this person that just killed all these people was a woman. It's very rare that you hear of that.
I don't know. We know we have a shared experience. We have a common bond. We have a common enemy too.
The men are the enemy?
Yes.
Oh
enemy
my gosh.
number one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
we love men. We need them.
When you hear of
just the good ones.
When you hear of adults doing inappropriate things to kids and all of those horrible, horrible things, always dudes. Always dudes.
Well, yeah, actually, the 48 Hours I was just listening to today, a man killed a couple, just random, didn't even know them, just went in and killed them. And then he drove 500 miles and then killed a whole family. This was 11 years ago. Killed the mom, the stepdad, the brother, thought he killed the dog, a family dog, thought he killed the daughter. She's 10 years old. The bullets grazed her. And she pretended to be dead for 2.5 hours. 10-year-old little girl. Then she gets out of her bed and calls the cops. She pretended to be dead for 2.5 hours. Saved her own life. And she's amazing. When you hear her speak, she's like, I don't want to have this victim mentality the rest of my life. I hate what happened to me. I hate what he did, but I'm strong and she's like, I'm going to play sports. And she's a go-getter. Yeah. Anyway, I went on a whole rampage, but of course it was a man. All that to say, of course it was a man, but we love men and we need men. And if you hate on my man, then you don't actually like me. That's the other thing too. When people try to say they support me or just are I don't know, my friend, but you're hating on my other half, like how dare you? I don't claim you. Like seriously, that's just messed up, and that's also violating the girl code. We found a good one here, guys. He's amazing. I love it.
So
I'm
nice.
like, it's so stupid that I'm even defending you because I don't have to.
You're too nice.
But when people run their mouth, I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't even know. I'm not going to sit here and just say everything that you do amazing because then it's just putting me on the defensive, which looks shady, and it's not. But I love you, and if you love me, we're a package deal.
That was really sweet of you. I love you too. I think you're amazing, and I think you're a really good mom. And I think I told you this the other day. I'm like, I love that you are so freaking smart. Like, you're a very, very smart woman. And I love that I'm married to like an incredibly intelligent woman. Sometimes I feel dumb around you because I'm like, you are so smart. Like when it comes to speaking, when it comes to communication, you're so much better at that than I am. So much better. And you can just pull something out of your butt in like 2 seconds. And it sounds like you worked on this masterpiece for weeks and weeks and weeks. You're so talented. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. You guys, if you're like us and you're busy and on the go, there's nothing more frustrating than having to try to cook and clean and get everything done when you're really, really busy. So what we like to do is throw in a Factor meal into the microwave if we're ever in a pinch. And it's just about 2 minutes in the microwave, no prep. They come fresh, never frozen to your doorstep. And my personal favorite Factor meal would definitely be the sun-dried tomato chicken. It is by far the best.
I like the garlic chicken thighs, but with over 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from, you'll never get bored with Factor. I'm telling you, it's so nice to have an easy lunch option so you can do more of the things that you want to do and less of the things you don't want to do, like prep, cook, clean, and then do that all over again for dinner. No way, I don't want to do that. And so that's why it's really nice to have a healthy, simple, fresh lunch option that doesn't take any time out of your day.
Especially when you're in a pinch, right? Like we all have those days where we just don't have much time to cook and clean. And so having a meal that you can pop in the microwave and have it ready almost instantaneously, it's the best. I mean, it's faster than even going and picking up food because you don't have to drive all the way there. And it's very convenient.
It's restaurant quality.
Yeah.
It really is. They have so many flavorful options. So head to factormeals.com/unplanned50 and use code unplanned50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code unplanned50 at factormeals.com/unplanned50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
Back to the episode. So we have some exciting news. We put an offer in on a house yesterday.
And they're supposed to let us know by 5.
And right now, as we're recording this, it's 4:11. So they've got 49 minutes left to let us know if we got the house.
What percentage do you think they're going to accept it?
I think because it's been this long, I don't think they're going to accept the offer.
No.
Because we offered under asking, and it's only been listed for 4 days. Now, in some markets, people would take this offer, but because this house, it's very nice. It looks great. I feel like they're going to hope to get what they're asking for. So I feel like at this point, they're not going to accept the offer. Mm-hmm. How excited are you for this house? Like, do you really want this house?
I really hate this about myself, but this has happened on multiple occasions where I present my case. I'm the lead prosecutor and I push for something so hard. And then I get my way, and then I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I don't know if this is what I actually wanted. Like, I panic. Happens all the time. And that's exactly what's happening right now.
So you're freaking out.
I'm freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh, I know this is what I want. Like, I want to be in this area. All blah, 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 all these things. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, moving is that's a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
And then I'm also like, there's so many factors
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's scary. It's a big commitment. It's where we're gonna raise our children. Like it's overwhelming. Is all I'm here to say.
Moving is going to suck. Whenever we do move out of this house, it's going to suck a lot. And the reason
I also have so many memories attached to this house.
Same.
We brought both of our babies home here.
Part of the reason though it's going to suck so much is in the past when we've moved, we were moving with our suitcases. We moved to Hawaii with 2 check bags, a backpack, and a carry-on. Mm-hmm. Each. That's all we had. We moved to Hawaii with literally just a couple bags of luggage, and we moved out with the exact same amount. We just went in and out.
I tried to not overbuy, but we used to have so much more stuff here.
Well, you have a house with 4 bedrooms, and you have 2 kids, and you have your in-laws. Well, it's my in-laws, your parents, but we have a house that is completely full. We have so many people that live here. There's literally 6 people living in this house right now, and and then all the visitors that we have.
And we host a lot of people.
We host people multiple times a week. We have our family over here all the time. My parents just stayed with us. My brother stayed with us. We had 9 people in this house at one time, and everyone just coming and going, and it's great. But now that we've been here for 2 years and we've bought furniture to fill this house, to move out of here is going to be a lot.
But you had to do it sometime.
Which is true. We do have to do it at some point. But when we put in the offer, immediately
How are you feeling?
I was like, well, okay. Right around when we put in the offer, I was like, gosh, dang it. I do not want to move all this stuff right now. Because it's going to take a freaking ton to move everything. Then at the same time, I know how badly you want to move the area of town that we're in.
No, it's like I want to leave this town, this city.
Yeah. We're like,
it's not like we're in the wrong city.
Yeah. I mean, which I get. You want to be in a more family friendly area of town, which I totally get.
Not area of town. I want to be in a more family friendly town.
Exactly.
You're making it seem like it's a small move. Like it's over 30 minutes away.
Yeah. But people move 30 minutes, it's not like we're moving across the country, right?
No, we're moving to a different city though.
30 minutes though.
That's a big deal, Matt.
Really?
If you're in, that's just showing that we're moving to it's not because of the house, basically. It's because we want to be in a different city.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think in your small town though, 30 minutes is a long, where you grew up, 30 minutes is a long way to get from point A to point B. But in a city like Phoenix, you can drive 30 minutes and you're still in Phoenix. I don't even know how we got onto this topic. I don't know. I don't know how we ended up there.
Do you think my letter that I wrote to the owner of this house is actually going to do anything?
Probably not. I think when we offered 10% under asking, which I would say is a fair amount under. So if we were talking about a couple $100, maybe the message would have made a big difference, but we're talking about a lot of money that we're asking underneath the asking price. So who knows? So
do you think they're going to just say no, or do you think they're going to counter?
They could counter.
What do you think is going to happen? Oh my gosh.
At this point, because it's almost 5:00, I feel like they're going to just tell us no. I feel like they're going to say, hey, sorry, we're looking to get the amount we're asking for. We're not willing to sell the house at a discount right now. So you guys are probably wondering, hold up, I thought you guys were on the fence about moving. Why are we putting in offers on homes right now? And I think, we did some reevaluating. We did some thinking, and we're going to be fine. Like, we can move. It's all good. I think what we're looking for, though, in our home is a long-term home that we will probably live in for the next 20 years. And I don't want to rush it, but we did find a house we really, really liked. So we put in an offer on it. Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. You guys, I got diagnosed with ADHD this year, and ZocDoc really helped make that whole process seamless for me because I didn't have to go to an in-person doctor. I didn't have to wait in a waiting room forever to be seen. It was so convenient because all I did was pull up the app that I needed on my phone, hop on a call with a doctor, and they were able to diagnose me.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. And I think having an easy healthcare solution nowadays feels like finding an Easter egg. Like, it's like impossible. It's very challenging, but ZocDoc makes that process so seamless because you literally just go online and they'll connect you, do all the stuff with insurance for you. And we literally walked through the process, like Matt said, when he got diagnosed with ADHD, and it was that same day that we got connected with the doctor. The next day you had your appointment. And then it was just boom, boom, boom from there. So easy. I mean, really, it's everything you want in healthcare, but it's so hard to find.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, too, because when you think about all the questions they ask you when you go to the doctor and all the stuff that they're doing, especially just even for a simple wellness checkup, a lot of it is just verbal communication, you filling out a form. And then for my appointment, I just had to have a little thing to read my blood pressure. And then also, what was the other thing? I had to get a heart rate monitor, but it's so much simpler than having to go all the way there. I would never do it any other way at this point.
They do connect you with in-person doctors also if it is something that you need to be seen in person for. They're all located near you, but they have top-rated patient review, credible doctors and specialists, and you can filter it for specifically what you're needing. And they'll connect you within 24 to 72 hours, which, I mean, normal wait times when it comes to seeing doctors can be so long. So I use ZocDoc, and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/unplanned and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/unplanned. ZocDoc.com/unplanned.
Back to the episode. Now we would like to segue into the newest segment of the Unplanned podcast, Abby's Book Corner.
Oh, thank you, everyone, for joining me.
But before we get into that, we're going to first start off with a brief segment about Matt's Book Corner, where Matt talks about reading his dragon book called Aragon.
How's it going?
It's going great. You got me into reading books, and so
I didn't get you into Aragon.
I'm reading all the books that I read when I was a kid, and it's bringing back major nostalgia.
That's sweet.
No one cares about dragons, so I'm gonna send it over to you.
That's not true. House of Dragon. That's pretty much everyone cares about that.
I am so excited for that show.
I know, me too.
I'm surprised that you like it that much because I didn't think you'd be into dragons.
It's more like we can watch it together and we both enjoy it. It's like we are not a show couple. Like so many couples watch shows and movies and stuff together. We never watch anything. And it's not even that we just don't watch it together. We literally just don't watch shows.
I was trying to get you to watch Severance with me, but
that one started to freak me out.
But you got scared, and you were the one who got me into Severance because you were like, I watched Severance on an airplane.
Yeah, I watched the 3 episodes they had on the airplane, and I liked it, and then it just started to get really eerie to me.
Yeah.
It made me feel weird. You know I don't like it when shows make me feel weird.
Yeah.
Some shows make me just feel like I am looking at myself outside my body. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Severance made me feel like that. My book corner, do you want to hear?
Yeah, sorry. Abby's book corner.
Let me just give you a little recap of the past. Let's just do the past 4 books I've read.
Okay.
I'm pulling up my official ratings so I can make sure I don't mess it up.
I'm very excited. I think it's cute that every time you finish a book, you go online and rate the book. That's so sweet.
Okay, Butcher and Blackbird.
You told me that one got a little too raunchy for you.
That got 2.5 out of 5 stars for me.
Dang, really?
And that's because I would not recommend it to anybody.
Okay.
Because
it was graphic.
Traumatizing.
But like, was it traumatizing as in like murder or traumatizing as in like
the
sex
spice.
Scene? Oh, the spice got too much.
So like, I like a little spice in a book. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can enjoy a little spice. I can even enjoy medium spice maybe. This one was so far past the boundary that I was like, this isn't even making me feel like romantic. It's literally just gross. And that's That's my opinion. It's a very popular book, so I think I'm in the minority here. But if you're like me and you're like, I like a little spice, even medium spice, this is, just so you know, it's like way beyond that. But I gave it a little bit of credit because it was entertaining. I will say that it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's a really good concept. 2 serial killers fall in love. What a great concept. But I could have done without it's not even just like one page of it. It's like you're flipping multiple pages of like just the scariest stuff you've ever seen in writing. Next, I read People We Meet on Vacation. That one got a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
So adorable and cute. And it was just like everything you love about a good romantic comedy book. You fall in love with the characters, but then also there was like this deeper meaning in it too that you don't normally see in romance. And I'm not like a huge romance girl, but like this one, amazing. Emily Henry, we love her. Next was First Lie Wins. I give that a 4 out of 5.
You've read like 4 books in the time that I'm trying to finish one book, by the way.
Well, I have a lot of time on my hands.
That is insane.
No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't. But if any second I have, I'm not going to watch something online. It just makes me feel sad. I'm going to read a book instead. And I'm going to end up on top because... Sorry, I'm getting sassy. First Lie Wins. 4 out of 5. A classic spy story. Recommend. It was one of those Reese Witherspoon book club ones. If you love a little mystery. It's not violent or graphic at all, though. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Adorable. Actually hilarious. And... it's like, if I were to tell you the concept, you're like, that's so fun, but it sounds super cheesy. It's like it was cheesy, but I loved it. Like, I loved the cheese. And it was hilarious. And you fall in love with the main character. It's amazing.
Is there a movie or a TV show about that?
There should be.
I swear there's some sort of TV show called The Bodyguard. And I don't know if it's based off of that.
But it's probably not this.
Okay.
I feel like I would know about that.
Okay.
And then last night I just finished 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I still am on the fence with my rating, but I'm thinking about giving it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Because I think the concept was really good and the plot was really good.
Yeah.
But just the writing wasn't. And it took me about 50% to just kind of like stop thinking about the logistics and actually get into like what was going on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a mystery thriller. Anyway, now I'm reading The Perfect Marriage, but perfect is crossed off.
Gosh.
And I'm already loving it so far.
Really?
So yeah, I love talking about books, but that's the end of Abby's Book Corner. If I wasn't a mom, I would probably become a full-time book YouTuber. Yeah, because they can read so many books.
You love to read.
I can't commit to that because I don't have the time to read that many books. I mean, the serious book YouTubers, Matt, I watch them. That's my favorite YouTube to watch. They read like 20 books a month.
Holy cow. You could be an actress, a booktuber, a chef.
I could own a cupcake shop.
Coffee shop. Cupcake shop.
Cupcake.
Clothing boutique. You could be
I want to own a daycare too and play with kids all day.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you could do it all.
A librarian. You know what I actually want to do, and I think I need to find a way to do this, is to be the story time person at the library.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would love that. We go to story time at the library, and I think she does an amazing job, Miss KJ. But sometimes I'm like, we could up the energy.
Yeah.
For the kiddos.
Yeah.
No, I love Miss KJ. I want to supplement Miss KJ. I don't want to steal her position. I just want to come in and also take part. It'd be so fun. But I think you actually have to work at the library to do it.
Oh, that's sad.
I know, and I think they have like a degree too, like in that library science. It's a degree.
Any word?
I might need to go back to college so I can do story time at the baby time at the library.
Any word on the house? Do we have any updates? I gotta know if we got this offer accepted.
They're definitely running their clock out.
Dude, I wonder if I picture the seller around the table because it's someone who
they're probably like, this is so weird that this lady wrote us a letter.
Maybe they're looking at the family photo that we sent them. Who knows?
Now I'm embarrassed about it.
Don't be embarrassed. That was sweet. I thought it was really cute.
Was it a bad idea?
It was not a bad idea.
Leave it to me.
Not a bad idea.
This person is like, I'm so sorry, but just give me the money.
Maybe they're just like maybe we could just milk this as long as possible.
But like, why would that work for me? Like, why would that literally work for me? Someone sent me a letter and a picture of their family. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to raise your babies here, and I'd give it to them.
You would do that.
That's the thing. That's the whole thing. I make emotional decisions, and I think it's a superpower in a lot of instances, but also in this instance, it really doesn't play in my favor. So that's why I'm like I'm leaning on you more. I'm like, Matt, be the logistics to this. Yeah. Tell me if this is a bad idea because my heart is just doing things. It's envisioning things, and I need to slow that down.
And you know what? It's
not about the house. It's never been about the house.
We ran the numbers, people. We had an official family meeting, and it is in the cards to buy a house and to move. We can do that. But but I'm being honest, like I was scared about that because of some horrible experiences with buying real estate in the past. We had this nightmare situation where we bought a home to flip it, and the flip ended up going like double over budget. We had someone who ended up like staying in the house for a little bit, and we were giving Abby's grandma a tour of the house.
No,
and
not we had a squatter.
We had a squatter in the house, okay? And we were giving Abby's grandma a tour while we had the house in escrow.
That's
and then
a
we're
whole
like,
other story.
And then we're like, wait a second, why are there all these sleeping bags on the floors? And then we realized there was like a whole community of people sleeping at the house while we were there. And they had all gone back into the back bedroom where the door was closed. Luckily, like we didn't run into anybody while they were in the house, but we immediately vacated the property. That was kind of freaky because then we saw them all moving around in the house after we got out.
I swear that guy was possessed. He had evil eyes. He had green glowing eyes. It was terrifying.
Yeah, which now, I mean...
I hope that guy has a home now, honestly.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they figured it out. I'm sure they ended up, finding a job.
I hope they got off the drugs, too.
Yeah, I think they were probably doing some drugs.
Are you allowed to say drugs on YouTube?
I think you can.
Just not the type of drug?
So...
There were needles.
We don't really. That's not really great marketing for our Airbnb. So if you could please not say that. No,
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
No, there's been a lot of people who've had amazing experiences. We're actually super hosts on Airbnb. Did you know that?
Wait, that's exciting.
We're super hosts. So people have been staying there, loving their experience. The house is really nice. It looks so good now.
Yeah, it does. Especially the backyard.
I just got all excited because this house looked horrible, and I thought of, HGTV, where you see people flip these ugly houses and make them look amazing. And I thought, man, let's do that. That's so cool. We can make a video out of it too. And boy, was that so much more work than I thought it would be.
I wasn't very helpful.
And so much more expensive too. There's a movie called The Money Pit, and it's about this. I'm pretty sure it's about a couple that buys a house that ends up literally being a money pit because everything breaks and falls apart. That literally was our experience with this house. And so it just left a horrible taste in my mouth. If I could go back, I would have never bought that one. I would have never bought that property because it just was such a logistics nightmare. And there's people out there though that their full-time thing is flipping houses.
Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Chip and Joanna Gaines know what they're doing.
Joanna.
We are not Chip and Joanna Gaines. Okay, that's not us.
Nothing about us is actually aesthetic when you think about it.
That is also true. Yeah, I wish I was as cool as them. They're pretty cool.
No, Matt, you can't spend your life wishing to be somebody else. You just gotta embrace who you are.
And that is right.
And play to your strengths.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We don't need to be any.
But
you
yeah.
wouldn't want to be anybody else.
Anyway, so that's.
I've also been on my what's it called? Motivational speaker era.
Really?
I feel like I've given you a few motivational speeches recently.
Oh, that's true. You have been hyping me up. Yeah. That was really nice.
Yeah.
What if you and I give each other motivational speeches right now?
See, I feel like it doesn't work on me. I don't really like words of affirmation. I don't dislike it, but it doesn't really work. Like, I have to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And no one can convince me to feel good about myself. Just like no one can convince me to feel bad about myself. Like, people could literally comment. I mean, I'm not going to enjoy it, but it's not going to change how I view myself.
See, words of affirmation are my love language.
Matt, you're loved.
Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
So I don't know if you knew this, but the video of me talking about failing my audition for the voice actually went viral on TikTok.
I didn't know that went viral.
Did you ever see the video?
I think you showed me while you were editing it, but
Really?
It wasn't done yet.
It was a vlog of me.
We were dating. I remember. I lived it.
Yeah, well, I guess, okay, the second time I auditioned, we were dating. The first time I auditioned, we were not dating because I was 16.
Well, yeah.
I went to Nashville, recorded some new music, and I was like, what's a good story I could tell over this vlog of me going to Nashville to record my new music? And I thought, maybe I should talk about how I failed The Voice, which I think people always talk about success stories online. It's like, oh, did they decline our offer? Sorry. What did the realtor say?
So the guy said to our realtor, "Hi, we have a few buyers kicking the tires still and reminded them about your offer. I think it was a gut shot, and as nice as the buyers and you have been, they don't seem to want to contend a counter."
Gotcha. So maybe this house just isn't the one for us. Maybe it's another house.
They have other possible offers, so they don't want to leave money on the table over a day or two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. If somebody offers more money than we offer for the house, like, if I were them, I'd probably take the offer that offered more money, transparently. So I don't blame them. Are you sad? You're sad? Do you want to up our offer? We could up it. Do you want to offer asking? Are you crying? Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm not actually sad.
No, it's okay.
I'm happy.
No, it's okay. Hey, we can up our offer.
No, it's okay. We can talk about this later.
Hey,
off
if that
podcast.
House, we can cut this out if you don't want. But like, if you want to offer asking, we can offer asking. We don't need to do 10% under.
It's hard to know what the right thing to do is,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Do you feel like this is a sign that it's not the house, or do you feel your gut instinct telling you to?
Well, if we would have offered asking and then them accepting it, would we be like, this is our sign that it is our right house?
That's true.
I think that offering that much below on the second day, I knew that they weren't going to accept it, but I'm just surprised they didn't counter. But not really, because they don't need to. It's so fresh.
Yeah, it is a fresh
I'm sure
listing.
someone's going to buy it, like, for full price.
Yeah. Well, maybe after the podcast we'll talk about next steps, because if it's really important to you, we could up our offer. Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm overwhelmed.
It's okay. It's all good. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay.
It's really, yeah.
There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
All is good.
All is great.
Nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should I talk back about my other thing?
Yes. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, you're totally good. So yeah, I guess I don't even know what to say now.
Yes. So you auditioned for The Voice in Chicago.
And I didn't make it. And then I auditioned again when I was.
That was so nice of your mom to take you.
That was really nice of her. I mean, she drove me 5
Did you
hours
look up the
from
audition
St.
and
Louis
stuff?
all the way there. Yeah. And it stung. It stung a little because like I practiced so much. I think what I didn't realize at that time is just having a good voice isn't good enough. If you want to compete on a show like The Voice, you have to go in hard, because there are thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who want to be on that show singing. And you know what the craziest part about it is, you watch the show, the singers, the competitors on the show that aren't famous, they don't have their own original songs, they don't have a following, and yet they're so much better at singing than the people who are judges, than the artists who are judging them, because there's so much more to being a quote unquote artist than having a good voice. It's sad that it's that way, but it's just true. Like if someone comes out with a really unique, great song that tells a great story, people don't care if you're not as good of a singer as someone that was on The Voice. There's just so much more to a song and to the music industry than just having a good voice. So yeah, I mean, it sucked not making it on, because I really wanted it bad. But at the same time, it's like, even if I would have made it on, would it have done much for me as an artist? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, even Benson Boone, who's a big artist right now, he dropped out of American Idol because he didn't want American Idol to own his music. He didn't want them to own him as a person and like completely take over his career. And so he dropped off the show so he could have a chance to like make it on his own, and he did, which I think is really, really cool. And I think his music's awesome. Mm-hmm. It was cool to see. I saw comments that were like, hey, I love that you're telling this like failure story in a way. I feel like you see these success stories online, you see people like win, and it's really inspiring to see people win. People fail every day. I fail stuff every day. Like I have a new idea every day that I try to make happen, and then
no, there's people that don't fail, but it's people that don't take risks.
You're never going to hit it big with anything unless you're willing to fail and fail and fail.
Fail big, because here's the thing. It's like when you have that many eyes on you, there's no small failure. Like,
yeah, I mean, even look at, Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. Isn't that hilarious? You would think if you can't make your high school basketball team, it's like, give it up. Okay, you're in freaking high school. You think you can compete at a professional level?
He's like the greatest of all time.
He's the greatest of all time. You think you can compete at a professional level when here's this guy who can't even make his own high school basketball team, and yet he worked his butt off. I love hearing stories like that, because the people that are like quote unquote failures in life, it's because they failed and then they stopped trying. And the people that you see like Michael Jordan, who are the big successful people in life, they also were failures, but then they just didn't stop trying until they succeeded.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think there has to be something to be said though for how do you measure success? How do you measure happiness? And like, I know that let's pretend for a second that like my music went crazy and the whole artist thing just like blew up. And that could happen one day. Who knows? That wouldn't just like fulfill me. You know, you can't get like, you'd get a little high for a while for sure. Like when our social media blew up originally, I got this amazing high off of it. It was incredible. It was like doing drugs. It was just like, this is insane. Like I remember, I think I was like tearing up when we got our YouTube play button, because I worked so hard for that. And I did so many late nights editing videos and just cranking out videos that I transparently worked really hard to create. And so getting that play button was like really rewarding, but at the same time, that was just a temporary high. And there's things that that are so much more important than business ventures or career ambitions, and that's your kids, that's your family, that's your spouse, that's your friends, you know. And I think like something that I've learned recently is I can put my whole identity into a career, or I can put my whole identity into something that, like, if I fail at it, then I feel horrible. It's like, man, I screwed up, you know? So I definitely
really
have to be careful.
vulnerable.
I have to be really careful with that.
Yeah, because those are things that, like, you can't identify with things that are outside of your control.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense, you know? I don't know.
Wait, what did you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Like, you can't put your identity in something like your music blowing up, because that's not totally within your control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easier said than done. And I don't really think I have a good, eloquent thing to say there other than that. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're really good. But yeah, man, I think we did talk about this a little bit, but it was cool when one of my singing videos blew up from me. I just like posted some singing videos of me last year, and one of them I think got like 8 million views, and then a person from The Voice who did casting for The Voice reached out to our agents.
Full circle moment.
And they wanted me to audition. It wasn't like hey, we can get you on the show. It was like,
right. I don't think they do that.
It was like, hey, we think you have a good voice. You should audition for the show. But I ended up not doing it because, like, with the nature of how those shows work, you have to be away from your family for a very long time. Like, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let, like, I doubt they would let me post on social media for months. Like, a lot of people that get on those shows, they have to go completely silent on social.
They can't post anything?
That's at least what I've heard from people that have been on the show before.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think that'd be worth it for me. Like, to be away from my wife and kids, to not get to actually do my current job, which is how I pay our bills. Like, it wouldn't be worth it for me to do that. But what I've been doing instead now is I've been meeting a lot of independent artists who literally just make music out of their bedroom, because you can do that now. You can make a home studio in your bedroom, create your own music, record it yourself. And there are so many talented artists out there that just people aren't hearing their music because it is such a competitive industry, and the labels right now control a lot of the industry still. Like, they can put a lot of marketing spend behind big name artists, and so that's what we hear on the radio, that's what we hear on Spotify, because they're pushing all of their artists to be on these playlists. But luckily though, with social media, there's more of a shot for the little guys, and it's been really cool to meet people who have just completely done it on their own. Like, I had a phone call with a guy who's had a lot of his music go viral. He's completely independent, has no label backing, and his music's incredible. And I'm hopefully gonna write some songs together with him, because I just think he's super talented, and I'd love to make music together with him. Sorry, I just completely got way off topic there, but I guess the reason I bring that up is I
just don't know anything about music, so sometimes I'm like, I love listening and learning about it, but I don't have anything to add here.
No, you're good. I'm just excited to be in Nashville though, because there are so many artists and songwriters and singers in Nashville, and it'll be fun to connect with all those creative people. And we also have know a lot of people in Nashville. I was joking in front of your mom that we might end up moving to Nashville after we go there for a month, and she hated that I said that.
I always ask you not to do that.
Sorry,
you know that, right?
I shouldn't have done that. But you know me, like, I didn't actually mean that. I was just...
Yeah, that's why you can say it to me, because I know you.
Yeah. No, you're totally right.
No, it's not a big deal.
I kind of have this this
give
problem
everyone a
where
heart attack.
The second that I get an idea, I just say it out loud. It's like, hey, we should go to Paris.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like,
and then I'm like, yeah. And
your mom thinks we're being serious.
99.9% of the time, that's the last thing we'll ever say about going to Paris that week.
The cool thing though, pre-having kids, we actually did crap like that. Like, we were like, we should go to Europe, and then we did. We were like, let's go on a cruise to Europe. And then we found a cheap cruise and booked the flights, and we did it. And it was so much fun. Maybe one day we'll do something sporadic like that. Maybe with our kids. Maybe we'll be like, let's go to do a safari in Africa.
As we should.
Yeah. But now I'm kind of afraid to do a safari in Africa, because we saw that girl who told her story about getting hit by a rhino, and then it paralyzed her.
Well, her safari bus did.
Yeah. The rhino literally ran into the safari bus, flipped it, or did who knows what to it.
Yeah.
And then she was paralyzed because of that attack. And so I always thought, like, I've always wondered that when you go on a safari, how do you not get attacked by a lion?
See, my fault in my life is that I think any animal is literally just like an animal at Disney. Like, I'm like, that could be an animatronic for all I know. Like, that's completely safe. And
You're so funny.
like, when is he gonna start singing? You know what I mean?
You are so, like, the things you say are just so funny. Like, when is it gonna start singing? Hakuna Matata.
Exactly. That's what I envision. And then I'm like, wait, this is actually like a beautiful creature, but also can be incredibly dangerous and weighs a lot and is literally a predator.
That is
but
true.
You know what? It's just like, I'm pretty sure all those people that like interact with those animals regularly, they have so much knowledge about that specific animal. They're like, no, they're a lover, they're so nice. But then people that don't know a lot like me, I'm like, but they just flipped a safari bus. Like, that scares me.
There's too many scary stories though, like that woman who got her face ripped off by, was it a
I don't trust a chimpanzee.
Was it a chimpanzee?
No, I'll never trust a chimp. I will never trust a chimp. After that was literally, that scarred me as a kid because my mom was watching Oprah and then
and then she showed her face and it scared
she
you.
didn't want to show her face, and I think maybe that was her first time she revealed it.
She got talked into it,
or maybe she just wanted to on Oprah. I don't know, but it really ruined me. And that I was like, but also, of course, there was someone in Florida that owns like a 200-pound chimp.
Those things are strong, dude. Well, even so
Matt,
you know, I was in Cincinnati when the whole Harambe thing happened.
We can't talk about Harambe.
Well, it was really sad that they had to put Harambe down, but like Harambe was dragging this little 2-year-old boy or 3-year-old boy around.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Within the exhibit, and gorillas can literally rip a person in half. Like they are so freakishly strong, and so they had to do what they had to do because they were worried that if they approached the gorilla too fast or if the gorilla freaked out, he could have easily taken that little boy's life. So yeah, horrible situation. But I was literally, when that whole thing, it made national news back in like 2016.
Oh,
I was there. I was in Cincinnati, like 10 minutes from the zoo when it all went down.
You weren't at the zoo.
Wasn't at the zoo.
I hate that. There's just certain things in life that, oh my gosh, you know how everyone says like their Roman Empire?
Yeah.
I've told you recently what my Roman Empire is.
What is it again? Remind me.
It's the lost colony of Roanoke. What happened to them? I need to know.
How often do you think about that?
All the time. Matt, you can literally, if you look at my school assignments all growing up, like, it's a reoccurring theme. Actually, for like a creative writing piece, I literally just filled in the blanks for myself, and I like wrote what they did. Like, it will not get out of my mind what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke.
How many papers did you write about the lost colony of Roanoke?
Multiple. And I was like, every time no one had talked about it for a while, I'm like, has anyone forgotten about the lost colony of Roanoke? And you know what else gets stuck in my head?
What?
The freaking Ebola virus. Speaking of monkeys,
yeah,
that terrified me as a kid.
Okay.
I should never have learned about that in 4th grade. And I literally couldn't sleep at night for a long time after thinking about the Ebola virus. I was like, the Ebola virus will get me. It was terrifying.
Do you know what my Roman Empire is?
You have so many, Matt.
There are a lot.
Okay.
One of them is the actual Roman Empire itself. Because I used to read about it. I read all the Percy Jackson books when I was a kid. And then when Borders shut down by my house, my mom told me I could get a book of my choosing. And I got a book about the Roman Empire.
I love that it had to be closing and things on clearance.
Yeah. I mean, of course, my mom wasn't going to buy something if it was full price. Heck no. So I got a discount book about the Roman Empire, and she told me that I had to like read the whole thing if she was going to buy it.
Why does every parent do that, by the way?
You better read this whole freaking book.
They're like, if I'm going to buy this book, you better read every page. And it's like, that's how kids start hating reading.
Yeah.
No,
I read it. I read every page.
I'm not trying to dig on your parents, by the way. Every parent does that. My parents have a book that they always bring out with my brother every time. They're like, remember that Da Vinci book we got? And it's like, okay, do you read every single book that you buy? So funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that to our kids too. I'm gonna be like, you want me to get this?
No, that's
well, you better write a whole essay about everything that happened in the author's writing style.
No, but like my mom was so gung-ho on me doing theater as my job. Like when I switched my major to finance, she's like, so you did all 17 of those professional theater shows for nothing? And it's like, Mom, it was a great memory, Mom. I had a great time. I met my wife.
I met my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But okay, one of my Roman empires though, babe, people getting burned at the stake. I was talking to Sarah, our producer, the other day about how she lives on the East Coast, but where she lives in the town Salem, like where Salem used to be. It's not called Salem.
Salem Witch Trials?
Yes, Salem Witch Trials. She lives there. And there's all these museums. And babe, like, now that
They should have a women's rights museum there.
I know, but like think about back then, they legit thought these women were witches, and now we know obviously that wasn't a thing. Like those women were not witches. They either people talked up all these ideas about why they thought that they were a witch, or maybe they had a mental illness, and so people thought, oh my gosh, they have schizophrenia.
Maybe they were just PMSing.
I don't know. Maybe we should go to the museum and check it out. But like I was talking to Sarah about how these women were burned at the stake because they were witches, and it made me think about how horrifying that would be. Like if you know that you're not a freaking witch, and the whole town thinks that you're a witch, and they literally kill you.
Your brain is a very powerful thing. It probably convinced some of them that they were actually witches.
Your brain can make up memories. Like you can literally make
My brain
yourself
does that
believe
all the time.
that something happened that didn't happen. It's just scary, man. Like I'm glad that we live in an era with video proof of stuff happening. Heck, but even with video proof of stuff happening, stuff still goes under the radar. People still have horrible things happen to them. Think about how many people got away with crime back in the day without video evidence, without DNA. I mean, they were burning witches at the stake in America, okay? We're talking about the United States of America with witches being killed.
But truthfully, what do you think happened to the lost colony of Roanoke?
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding. There's so many things that's just like, oh my, I'm like excited for our kids to kind of walk, like hopefully we'll do homeschooling. And I'm excited to walk through those things with them too, because I want to learn. I need to learn more. I need to know more. I'm interested. I got some more I could work on.
Yeah. Well, you guys, let us know in the comments.
Have you ever talked about the fact that my mom was my third grade teacher and I wasn't homeschooled?
I don't think we talked about that.
I talked to people about that recently, and I think that's a sign that I grew up in a small town, because I don't think they normally allow that.
I don't think they do. Yeah, but that's really sweet that your mom taught your third grade class.
Yeah, I loved it. A lot of the kids in the class called her mom too. It was just a sweet.
Really?
It was a little family.
Everyone called your mom?
Yeah, I think anywhere older than third grade, I probably would have not liked it, but I loved it in third grade. It was amazing.
That's really sweet. I love that for you.
Yeah, I'll be my kid's third grade teacher.
You want to be?
I want to be there for kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade.
When are you going to stop teaching the grades?
If they don't want to do it, then I'm not going to make them do it.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see.
Alrighty. Well,
we have to go.
Yeah, we're going to go hang with our kids. But if you guys could let us know in the comments what you think happened to the lost colony of Roanoke, that would be amazing.
Seriously.
Thank you for watching.